corner, quick combination. Oh, beautiful right uppercut. Starting to exchange center of the ring. Starting to exchange center of the ring. Oh, that uppercut sends.
Greatness can come from anywhere.
I draw inspiration from the Filipino people and to God and my family. Hard work is the most difficult things in boxing.
Let's get into it. Real talk. Let's get into some real talk. Man, shout out to Fight Hub, man. But you know what? Bernie the Boxer was on Fight Hub, and he was talking about Terence Crawford, the situation with Spence, Charlo, Boots, and all that. Now, I get it. Terence Crawford is feeding you, literally putting food on your table. You've been with him since he was a kid. I get all that. A lifelong member of the camp. I get all that. But see, you gotta keep it 100 because you don't want to fight Charlo because he got his ass whooped, but he's still a unified champion. So if you go after Charlo, you have the opportunity to become a unified champion. That's Charlo. Now, Canelo, I don't think that fight is going to happen. Bud is adamant about that. He wants that fight. But Canelo is Canelo Alvarez. He dictates his career at that point. One of the top guys, especially in the money department in boxing, if not the top guy. It gives him some leverage. It gives him some leeway. It gives him some talking points. But at the end of the day, Canelo is not going to fight Bud. We all would love to see that fight. And I believe if Terence Crawford fights Canelo Alvarez, he can beat Canelo. But as much as I want to see that fight, I don't think it's going to happen. That's Canelo. Let's get Canelo out the way. Now, Tim Tszyu. They was talking about Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is about to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, by the time they get into the ring, Keith Thurman will officially have been off for over 2 years. Tim Tszyu, I got Tim Tszyu in that fight. Keith Thurman, long history of being injured, plus with the layoff, Tim Tszyu is a younger, fresher fighter, has more speed, he's explosive. Tim Tszyu is he's not Barrios.
People crazy.
What Thurman did to Barrios, Tim Tszyu ain't gonna allow that shit to happen. That's first and foremost. And you hear Tim Tszyu talking about that fight. He's been waiting for this fight since he was a kid and all that. I get it. That's just talk. Because let's address that talk quickly, briefly. Now, you said you've been waiting all your life for that fight. How you been waiting all your life for a fight with a fighter that has been off for over 2 years with a history of being injured? That is, you could say it's a bad run for Tim Tszyu, but that's just pretty much another notch on the belt, another name on the record. Tim Tszyu, in my opinion, he's probably going to stop Keith Thurman. Now, Thurman is out the way. Let's talk about JARON Ennis. I don't know if you all remember the $1 Million Worth of Game episode when they was talking to Bud about that Boots fight. And Gilly and Wallow, they got Boots on the phone, and briefly Boots and Bud was going back and forth. And Bud was telling them, you had your opportunity, but you chose to go a different route. If you'd have went the WBO route, you possibly could have got a shot and all that. Okay, that's neither here nor there. Let's give that to Bud. But let's talk about right now. Terence Crawford got stripped of his IBF title, and now JARON Ennis has that title. JARON Ennis has your belt. You were an undisputed unified champion. You got stripped. Now, Boots went on record and said, you send me the contract, I'll sign it. I spoke about this in my last video. Boots already said, send the contract, I'll sign it. You already know Bud is going to be the A side as far as money. And Boots know that. His father / trainer, Bozy Ennis, they know that. Steven Espinoza, he also knows that. Yes, Showtime is done, but Steven Espinoza is still working with Boots and some other fighters. So they know that Bud is going to get the lion's share of the proceeds. But for Boots, it's about the straps. It's about that name. I told y'all before, that would be a great fight. Out with the old, in with the new. Bud, at this point in his career, Bud is not going to be fighting for another 5 years. Boots is. Boots is 26 years old. Bud is like, what, 35, 36? So Bud ain't gonna be fighting until he's 40, 41. He's not gonna be like Manny Pacquiao.
I draw inspiration from the Filipino people and to God.
He's already came out and said that. He came out and said, you know what, I got one more fight left. So if you got one more good fight left, why not make it a fight like Jaron Ennis? And the fans want to see that fight. That will be, you talking about a phenomenal fight. You talk about skill for skill, two southpaws, two switch hitters. Both of these guys got power in each hand, IQ through the roof. And people always talked about Terence Crawford not being quote unquote such a pay-per-view draw. Jaron Ennis being new to the pay-per-view game. But I believe that fight has enough potential fireworks to draw out the dollars. Who knows? They may even ask for that fight to go down in Saudi. Who knows? Because they already came out and said they want the fighters. So you telling me they won't pick up the fight? I think they will. So Jaron Ennis versus Terence Crawford is the fight. Fight Boots, possibly win your title back, because I said that fight can go either way. Just like Boots can beat Bud, Bud can beat Boots. I came out on record. Go back and check my previous videos while you at it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Back to the video. Now, Jaron Ennis, his skill set, his IQ, I truly believe that if he faces Terence Crawford, that not only will be a great fight, but I think Boots will dethrone Bud. But if y'all know me and y'all watch my content, I always give every fighter a chance. And Bud, most beyond a shadow of a doubt, has all the opportunity and chance and skill in the world to beat Boots. But just as I say that, Boots has that same ability. That's what makes that such a great fight. Spence is drawing out this rematch situation, you know what I mean? Eye surgery and all this cataracts and all this kind of shit. Look. Shout out to Arrow, phenomenal champion. But a fight like that, getting beat like that, Bud beat the shit out of Arrow. Period. That has taken years and fights off of Errol Spencer's career. If Errol, which he said, I ain't think about that retirement shit, but guess what? You may not be thinking about retirement, but retirement is thinking about you.
I don't even know what to say, bro.
Bud beat the shit out of you, bro. So you think you will step into that ring another time and you gonna whip Bud after what you displayed in the first fight? You displayed nothing that will make fight fans, that will make the money men in the boxing industry, whatever promoter you may be dealing with, look at that fight and say, you know what? My guy has an opportunity and chance to redeem himself. You didn't do nothing, bro. And I fuck with Arrow. I really do. Great family man, great boxer. But when it comes to the Terence Crawford equation,
that he belongs in the top echelon.
You can't figure that man out. I don't care how much scrap paper, how many calculators, how many number 2 pencils, it doesn't matter. You will never be able to figure that equation out. Bud is too good. He's better than you in every way. And when you face a fighter like that, sometimes you gotta say, you know what? You gotta take your hat off to him. You got it. You got it. And Spence can't do nothing with Bud. But Boots is a problem. Boots is the answer to that equation. Boots can beat Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford, if he plays his cards right, if he does and come into that fight like he did with Errol Spence, he can beat Boots. But that fight is the best fight at 147 right now. Right now, Boots and Bud are the 2 best fighters at 147. Get Tim Tszyu out your mind. He's about to fight Keith Thurman. And if Keith Thurman can shock the world and beat Tim Tszyu, he'll become a champion. Period. So if you Team Crawford, shout out to Bomac. I love their team. I I respect their team. But when you talk about 147, the only fight to make is Bud versus Boots. I'm out. Talk Major Stand Up is your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You already know how I play. Share the truth.
Crawford goes in there and finds a rhythm, then it might be a W for Crawford.
Fatality.